Today we're going to talk about the race that happened this weekend, this past weekend in Australia. So we're talking about the Australian Grand Prix, and we're going to cover Formula One and Ferrari team specifically. We're going to talk about their performance, about their drivers, and just generally, I'm going to give you comments about how I feel they will perform in the future, and probably advice and whatever thoughts I have on them. So Ferrari, Kimi. Let's just start with Kimi. Kimi had driven well at some point in his career. However, his team made a mistake, probably due to an accident that happened in the first lap that caused Kimi's wheel to have a problem and not be properly, done on to the car. So, I'm talking about Kimi's race, where he had a problem with his wheel, and I'm also talking about Kimi's performance in the past. Last year, Kimi has proven that he has completely lost his, let's just say, his competitive edge. Kimi has lost his competitive edge, and only this year would he be able to prove or redeem himself if he is really up for the challenge, because Vettel will definitely not back down. Vettel is going to want to be the next Ferrari Formula One champion, and if Kimi can somehow prove himself this year by beating Vettel in races, he only needs to beat Vettel. If Kimi can beat Vettel in races, then that is proof enough for me that Kimi is back on track to be his old former glorious self. So let's just look at it from a wider perspective. So basically, Kimi didn't perform that well this race weekend. However, you have to consider that having that minor incident at the first lap wasn't really that much of an indication that he was losing it. The only thing that you could say is that he could have probably had a better racing line and made sure he didn't have contact with his teammate, which was Vettel, and also not made contact with the other drivers involved that made the Lotus crash. So what we can say is that Kimi did do well. He was trying to catch Massa in the closing stages. Unfortunately, he even placed some pretty fast laps. If you think about it, he had some pretty good laps at the end before he put his last second and last pit, and second and last planned pit, should I say. And unfortunately, his wheel was not properly connected to the car, and he had to retire. Luckily, they did not get a penalty for that. That is good news, so Kimi can live on to fight another day. So I would say Kimi is not his old cold calculated self where he just wanted to be the fastest driver on the track. So I'm just saying that because I really want him to prove me wrong. I was really a Kimi Raikkonen fan when he was in McLaren, and I believe he went from Sauber to McLaren. So when he was in McLaren, I was really hoping to see that he would fill the shoes of Mika Häkkinen. He has somehow delivered, not as much as I would have liked, but let's just hope and see and wait for what's going to happen in the future. So let's continue with Vettel. Well, Vettel wasn't very close to Mercedes, obviously. Mercedes is way too fast for Ferrari at the moment. However, Ferrari is extremely fast compared to the rest of the teams. Very competitive. Ferrari has really outdone themselves by having a proper solid car. Unfortunately, not strong enough to compete with the likes of Mercedes, not even close to Mercedes. However, they are competing the rest of the field. They are beating the rest of the field, as I should say, and that I think is applause enough to say that luckily Ferrari is definitely making a step in the right direction, and I see that their future will definitely be brighter. I hope that they can definitely do some more developments on the car so they can move up in the season, as it would probably only happen next season that they would have a stronger car to really compete against or even challenge Mercedes. So what I would say is Ferrari definitely have a strong package. Unfortunately, it's not strong enough to compete with Mercedes. However, they can easily get second place in the constructors, and they can easily have a third driver on the podium. They can definitely make the podium at least. Third place is not too bad. First and second will definitely be reserved for the both Mercedes drivers, Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton. However, the third place can probably be taken by Ferrari if they just continue being strong and having decent races. Then they can definitely do that. I would really like to see Kimi Raikkonen move up in the field. However, I truly believe that the 4-time world champion Vettel is not gonna quickly or easily relinquish the fact that he wants to cement his position in Ferrari as the first and best driver, and also get the world championship if he could. However, with Mercedes being there, that will be pretty much impossible this year. The only thing I could say at this point is that Ferrari is really strong. It's really good step forward. Unfortunately, they would need to do something drastic. They need to get to the next level of development within the season at least, to be able to challenge at the end of the season, because I don't see them being very competitive, compared to Mercedes. If you compare them, I don't think they'll be able to compete against Mercedes at this season. Probably at the end, if that was to happen, and also maybe next year they do have a better chance of competing, just depending on how strong they actually develop their car this year. So Ferrari, definitely very, very, very good performance from them. Kimi Raikkonen, I would have loved to see him pass Massa in the last closing stages. Unfortunately, that was not to be. Let's just hope that Kimi can prove himself, because let's face it, if Kimi and Vettel can have their own race and squabble amongst each other, and Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg can have their squabble, it means that we are in for some interesting races to see the world champions fight it out. However, Nico Rosberg is not a world champion, so you can't really say that he's gonna compete for squabble with the world champions, seeing that he's not a world champion. So now we're gonna continue with the next team, and that's in the next episode. So see you then. Ciao for now. Hope you enjoyed my feedback. If you have any feedback of your own, just leave some comments in the comment section and let me know what you think and feel, and let's keep this passion going. Ciao for now.